When you upgrade a brawler to power level 9, you unlock that brawler's star power. A passive ability added to every brawler in the game that changes their gameplay in some way. It can be modifying the brawler's primary attack, adding new functionality to their super, or basically nothing at all. As with literally everything ever, some star powers are good and some are horrible. And one of the horrible ones is Sam's star power, Remote Recharge. It makes Sam charge his super if any enemy is near his knuckle busters, which in theory is kind of cool, but in practice, yeah. This star power is not only a hassle to use as an enemy needs to be close to the busters to charge, basically useless as Sam instantly charges his super if he just touches his knuckle busters, but it's also entirely inferior to his other star power that makes him heal whenever he picks up his knuckle busters, letting him do stupid stuff like this. An easy way to improve the star power would be to change it so his super charges any time he doesn't have it instead of only when enemies are close to it, but that would still be outcompeted by this bullshit. So instead, the star power should make him always have a super, constantly all the time. Now this might be slightly broken, but that would mean that I never have to face this shit again, so it's worth it. Next up, we have Belle's grounded star power. If she hits an enemy with her super while the star power is equipped, the enemy is unable to reload for 5 seconds, which sounds like it should be really strong, but isn't. The star power only stops the enemy from reloading, but if the enemy already has ammo, they can keep using it without any problems. And since Belle is a sniper, she often hits enemies far away, making it very easy for them to just go away to safety and wait for the star power's effect to be over. But I have a great idea of how to make this star power stronger. It is called grounded, but when you ground someone, you usually don't stop them from reloading guns. You send them to their room. And that is what the star power should do. Hitting somebody with Belle's super while having the grounded star power equipped should send them to a different map called the Room, where they wait until Belle decides they aren't grounded anymore. Chester's star power, Sneak Peek, is also one of the worst star powers in the game. If you don't know, Chester is a brawler which has multiple different supers, and whenever you charge his super, you get one of the alternatives chosen at random. Now, normally you wouldn't know what super you'd get until you charge it and get one, but with Chester's Sneak Peek star power, you get to see what super you get before you get it, which is completely useless. Seeing what super you get before you get it does nothing since you can't use it, and by the time you can, you'd know what super you have already. And it doesn't really help either that Chester's other star power is so good, it's basically required to be able to do anything with him. So sacrificing way more damage for literally nothing at all is never worth it. A great way to fix this star power that would even fit Chester's personality is that whenever Chester uses his super, he spawns a giant slot machine where players can gamble away their life savings for a chance to win gems. Now, Brawl Stars would have to become 18 plus for this to be added, but think of all the other advantages that would bring. For example, you could add a drug dealer brawler that makes enemies hallucinate and see weird colors. Who doesn't want that? Gus has the star power Health Bonanza, which makes his healing ghost heal twice as much as normal. This star power would probably be pretty good if it weren't for the fact that it has negative synergy with his best gadget, Cookie Popper, that blows up all healing ghosts, dealing damage to enemies near them. The gadget is basically required when playing Gus, as without it, his damage output is just too low. But using Cookie Popper means that you often use your ghost for damage instead of healing, making Health Bonanza basically useless star power. But this is an easy fix. Ghosts are scary, but currently for some reason Brawl Stars doesn't use that fact for Gus's advantage. So I would change Health Bonanza so that whenever Gus summons a healing ghost, all enemies get jump scared. That would help Gus immensely, as while the enemies are shocked by the jump scare, Gus and his team can push forward with ease. Hank's star power, Take Cover, is another mostly useless star power. Whenever Hank is touching a wall, he gets a shield that blocks 20% of incoming damage. A 20% shield isn't bad, but if your brain hasn't rotted, how often are you walking into walls? This star power is incredibly niche, only working on some maps with loads of walls and where the walls are in a position where you can actually do something when walking into them. So this star power's effect might never be used during an entire game, and might as well just not exist, which is good for me because it allows me to change it however I want. And in this case, I'd fix Take Cover, so that whenever Hank attacks, all players on the server have their YouTube apps open and automatically subscribe to my YouTube channel. And you should do it too. Do it! And finally, we have Mandy's star power Hard Candy. Hard Candy gives Mandy a 30% shield whenever she's focused, which happens when she stood still for half a second. This is another star power that's entirely outshined by different alternatives. And in this case, her other star power, In My Sights. In My Sights increases Mandy's projectile speed while she is focused, making it easier to hit shots. So hard candy in itself isn't super bad, it's just that without in my sights, hitting shots with Mandy is just too hard. An easy fix could be just to buff the shield or move some of the in my sights projectile speed buff to Mandy's base kit. But I don't like Mandy. Her standing still for a longer range always felt clunky to me, and being killed from a projectile off screen isn't fun. So I want to take a different approach. If Mandy has hard candy equipped, she won't have her focus gimmick anymore. Instead, she'll just have a basic mid-range attack shot dealing basic mid-range damage. And her super won't be that bullshit one-shot thing. Instead, it will make enemies hallucinate. Yes, she'll be the drug dealer brawler. Yeah, whoa! 18 plus Brawl Stars drug dealer. I'm going to smoke weed. Oh yeah, I can't say that. No, Mandy won't be a drug dealer, she's a sugar dealer. And all the brawlers will hallucinate from the sugar rush. Yes. And I'm just gonna go eat some french fries. I'm still gonna smoke weed though.